Right. Okay. Let's start off. So, as you know, we are focusing on swing trading, which is trade which is like the time period for this trade is like 1 month to 3 months normally, and we try so that's kind of a short-term trades, and we try to pick the best stocks for those short-term trades. Disclaimer: I'm not a SEBI registered analyst, so discussions that we do here are purely for educational and not for any kind of a trading or investing recommendation. Hello, thanks for joining. Okay, of course, you know this. For those who are attending all the streams, you know this. We discuss chart analysis and using Bollinger Bands and exponential moving averages as our main indicators. Okay? There are 1,001 indicators, but these are the preferred indicators that we use mainly because of the simplicity in terms of the analysis, right? Okay, so I'll be analyzing some of the charts of the indices here normally as we do, and some stocks that I have in mind. But you can also share your stocks on the chat box, and then we'll also look at those stocks also, right? Yeah, and we use a charting screener, and we maintain a sort of a trading journal to uh, you know to kind of keep a record of what we are doing. Okay, so here is the Nifty index on the weekly time frame and the Bollinger Band indicator, placed on it. So you can see this here. Right. See this here. It has gone above the 20 SMA. And last week it has closed above the 20 SMA, which is a pretty strong move from here to the bottom. And this week it is showing a little bit of weakness over here. So there is a selling that is coming. People are uncertain here what is happening, especially because there is also the Fed event that is happening. I think even as we speak right now, probably in the US. I don't know exactly what time it is, but the US Fed is having a meeting today, and so they will. It is expected that they will raise the interest by interest rate by 75 basis points or 100 basis points, right? That's around 0.75% or 1%. So that is quite an expected event, but you can see that if you see it in the daily time frame, you'll see the market has been sort of in a range in the last 2-3 days, and it could be because of this uncertainty over the Fed event, even though the widely expected outcome is that the interest rate would rise by 0.75 to 1%. So we don't know how the markets, the US markets will react tonight, based on what the Fed is saying, how they will react. But whatever reaction is happening tonight, you can see the reaction, same kind of reaction happening tomorrow in our market, right? So is in the Nifty, and so this indecisiveness, that is, you can see the doji candle here, the red candle over here. It's known as the doji candle, which is this it's not going anywhere basically. So that's what we call as the doji candle, and it shows the uncertainty in the market, right? So that's where this is placed right now. So you don't know whether you want to go long or you want to go short, right? That's the stage that we are in right now. It can go either way. uh, yeah, even up to the top, or maybe a little bit of correction to the bottom. So that's what will going to happen. See, China housing problem, the real estate bubble is a problem definitely, because the big companies are defaulting, right? But what the China government has done is that it has completely suppressed the issue, and it is trying to manage it, because this is not good for the China government, also for the China market also. So that problem is definitely there, but and you cannot ignore the problem. But what is happening right now is that overall the world and the economy and the stock market has ignored the problem, because the government there is suppressing it. and it is not allowing it to to come out in the open. So what is happening, we don't know actually what is happening. There was news that there going to be huge amount of defaults and all, but all that has not materialized so far. And we exactly don't know what kind of things are happening, because that's suppressed right now. So we can't say for sure that the problem has gone away. We can't say that. uh, but what we can say is that in the domestic markets, in our markets, the impact will be minimal, right? So that's what we can say. Even though, of course, we will be reacting to global cues and things happening all over the world, we will definitely be reacting. But even now, if we see, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 has corrected by 30%, while we have corrected by around 20%. So even then, even our reactions are, in spite of heavy FI selling, in spite of all the things that are happening around the world, inflation problem, recession, this, that, all of the things that are happening around the world, the domestic market is pretty robust, and the domestic investment is also picking up. The retail participation in the Indian market is also picking up very fast, and it's kind of sustaining the Indian market. So the consolation for us is that, in the domestic market, the domestic system is robust, the domestic inflow is robust, the domestic companies are robust, and they're, even this is the result season, and the companies are giving us stellar results. Most of the companies are giving stellar results. The banking sector and all is giving very good results. So whatever impact will be there in the domestic market, it will be, let's say, it'll be quite insulated. We will be quite insulated because of the domestic strength. That's what my opinion is about that. But of course, definitely we cannot ignore it. Even if we don't go up very high, the consolation for us is that we will not fall very low. So that is what we can, I think that is what we can kind of estimate for the domestic market. So Bank Nifty, you see, Bank Nifty, the banks have given pretty good results in this week. Some of the ICICI Bank, IndusInd Bank, Axis Bank also has given pretty good results. So that is what you see here. The Bank Nifty is pretty much stronger and than the Nifty itself. So this is actually pushing the Nifty up, and not allowing it to go down so much. So that you have that support from the banking industry. Cement industry, I haven't tracked as such the cement industry as a whole. If you want, if you have some stocks in mind, we can have a look at the charts right now. So let me know if you have some stocks in mind. You can put it up in the chat box. We will have a look at the stocks, the individual stocks itself. Nifty IT is the weak point. So Nifty IT is the one that is underperforming at the moment, and that is what is holding the Nifty down. So if the Nifty has to move forward, there has to be some amount of movement here happening in the Nifty IT index, which means the TCS and INFI, the heavyweights in the Nifty IT index, has to move here. So this consolidation that is happening for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7 weeks, in this range, the Nifty IT is moving. And if there is a positive move in the market tomorrow, or maybe in the next few days, you will see this index also moving. This has to move up, right? So you will see the TCS and in fact the INFI and the heavyweight IT stocks also moving. In fact, on the screener, I just put up the screener here. So in this screener, we are trying to understand, which stock has come down to the lower Bollinger Band and has now reversed from there and given a high above the previous candle. That's what this screener is all about. And we run it on the Nifty 200. So when we run the scan, in fact, there's only one stock that has come, and that is HCL Tech. So you see, it is from the IT sector. Automobile, yeah, we'll have a look at the automobile index in a moment. You'll see here. So HCL Tech has gone down quite a bit here in the in the last week here in 11 July. And then staged the recovery from the lower Bollinger Band, and this week it has a little bit broken up by a very small margin, wafer thin margin. It has broken the high of the previous week. So this is a trade with a small stop loss here, and so you can expect other stocks also in the IT sector. Yeah, you see the same kind of formation here with TCS also, but you cannot keep a very deep stop loss here at this level, but you can keep a stop loss here, and at the low of the candle, and there can be a good trade happening there. Let's say Infi, what is happening in Infi? Not quite there. So there is this consolidation which is neither up the 20 SMA nor down at the lower Bollinger Band. So there is no trade opportunity here unless it crosses the 20 SMA, the median line over here. Unless it crosses above that, we cannot enter into a trade. There's no good trade opportunity here. But this might, along with the sector, this might give a little move. If the Nifty has to move forward, then this has to move forward. The same kind of a story happening with Coforge, but of course, again, no entry point here for the trade unless it closes above the 20 SM, because this is very far from the lower Bollinger Band. That's why the risk reward ratio is not quite up there, and we will unless the 20 SMA is breached, and then we can keep the 20 SMA as the stop loss, and then aim for the upper Bollinger Band here, right? So that's where the trade will materialize. Okay, let's look at some of the other indices also. Nifty Auto, yes. Yeah, so see, auto is weakening. In fact, this after this very handsome move, from right from 7th March 2022, that week onwards, and then coming up to the 20 SMA, slight weakness here for 2 weeks, and then resuming the upward journey. And now at the upper Bollinger Band, it is showing weakness. It has broken the it has broken the low of the previous week. The previous week low was 12,364 on the index. It has broken, and the index is right now at 12,326. So you can see weakness in the automobile sector, and probably the heavyweights of the automobile sector will also show a very similar kind of chart. Let's look at this. Yeah, Maruti showing a very similar chart. So there is weakness here. So if anybody is already in this trade, it is already time to get out of this rally, right? So going forward, you might see a weakness. Mahindra was staging a very smart move, but even that has kind of exhausted and broken. The doji candle, uncertainty in the previous week, and then breaking the low of the previous week of the previous week candle. So that's a very clear exit. This rally has exhausted, and probably in all likelihood, it might come down, right? So let's look at the two-wheeler stocks also. Almost the same kind of chart formation, and Hero MotoCorp, right? Almost very 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 similar chart formation. You can see previous motor also same kind of chart formation. And let's look at iShares. So all over the auto sector, you can see the same kind of chart formation happening, except escorts, right? But again, in escorts, there is no trade opportunity happening here. So almost every chart is showing the same kind of thing. So there's weakness in the auto index. Look at metal. In fact, last week we had a look at this metal index, and this was probably here somewhere. And in fact, we missed the trade opportunity, because before that this week I was traveling. We didn't have the stream. This was the right time to get into it. But last week, I think we had a look at this, and we said there will be some move happening in the metal stocks, and that's happened here. So you see Hindalco, same kind of move. Same kind of move happening, quite a bit of recovery. So there was an opportunity, but it's already moved up. So right now we cannot get into there. So Tata Steel also has been a little bit, not so much, but a little bit move happening in the metal index. JSW Steel also a little bit. Okay, so not spectacular moves, but some amount of movement happening in the metal index. Nifty Pharma is showing weakness at the 20 SMA. So it recovered right from the lower Bollinger Band up to the 20 SMA, and then showed weakness here. But it is showing some kind of buying here. This candle, there is buying here at this point. So we'll have to wait and watch whether it does cross the previous week high and above the 20 SMA or not. Right. Jet Airways, we can have a look at the stock. Uh, Fundamentally, I don't know what is happening, but we'll have a look at the chart. It's not going anywhere. So this is just a flat chart, right? There is nothing to. Where is this? See this whole region? It's just a flat chart. It is neither going down nor going up, right? So nothing happening. So there's if you're looking for a swing trade, no, there's no opportunity for a swing trade. Right? Nothing happening over there. Okay, let's also have FMCG. FMCG is also kind of exhausting its rally, even though it has not broken the previous week low. It's this red candle here after 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 handsome green candles. Now it is showing a red candle. Yeah, so this is showing weakness here. If you want to look at some of the uh, stocks in the FMCG sector, Hindustan Unilever, you will see a same kind of chart formation, red candle here, right? All the heavyweights. Let's have a look at ITC. What is ITC doing? ITC is the only one that is bucking the trend, and yeah, still going strong. ITC and Dabur. Let's have a look at Dabur, showing weakness here at the top, and let's have a look at Marico. Again, weakness here. So FMCG, if you're already into FMCG trades or small swing trades, it's the sector is showing weakness. So it's time to move out from there. Ruchi Soya. Why would you be interested in Ruchi Soya? It's a stock that is that was suspected to be a lot manipulation in there. Ruchi, what is the what's the stock? The stock name has changed, I think. Yes, definitely. It has changed. No, it has changed too. That is what it is now. Patanjali Foods. Uh, okay, you see this. You see this. The way the chart is going, right at the top, and then downfall. The way it went up, same downfall. This is this is the type of stock that you want to avoid because this is not normal, right? So this is the type of stock that you want to avoid, even though there is a trade setup happening here with the 20 SMA, and not quite a very good risk reward ratio here to the upper Bollinger Band. But even though there is a trade setup happening, but this is the kind of stock that you don't want to get into, right? So that would be my suggestion. Uh, okay. Yeah, you want to look at Nifty reality index. We did have a look at it last time, and it was showing some interest here. So the Nifty reality index went above the 20 SMA and was showing a lot of strength. So we had this discussion here that we could keep 20 SMA as the stop loss and do some trades. So there was only one stock, in fact, that showed some amount of promise last time, and that was DLF, and that it has moved up. So it has moved up from the from from the time that we had discussed it last time. Let's look at some of the other. I think Godrej Properties was just below the 20 SMA. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, it was just below the 20 SMA when we discussed it last time, but now it has closed above. And again, there's a doji candle here. Could take a risk if you want to, but DLF would be a better option. Developers is already up, so risk reward, this is, if you keep the stop loss over here and the target over here, you will not get a good risk reward ratio. Ideally we want to have a risk reward ratio of 1:2. That means if you lose, you lose one. If you get if you hit the target, you hit you get two, so at least two. So that's a good risk reward ratio. Even 1:1 is also, I would say, not a good I would not prefer 1:1 also. uh, and so if you get a 1:2 risk reward ratio, that's the, at least 1:2, that's the kind of trade that you want to enter. Otherwise, look for a better one, a better setup. Prestige is not giving, is not quite giving it. It went up, but there's a lot of selling from the top, and it has come down again. So not there, in spite of being in the reality the same, but not quite there. It's showing a lot of weakness. Oberoi, yeah, Oberoi is slow and steady here, and it can take a risk over here with the stop loss at 861 and 1027 on the top being the target, with quite a good risk reward ratio. You can get it here. So DLF and Oberoi in the reality sector showing a lot of promise. Uh, right. We also had a look at PSU banks, and we saw that PSU bank was moving very strongly here. In fact, we actually missed this trade. This was the time to get into this trade. Last week we saw that it has already moved up, and mainly, of course, because of SBI. And as we said, the banking results have been stellar in this week, and SBI, as you can see, it's already it's quite moved up from the time that we had discussed it last time here, from around 492 to 528, almost hitting the target at the upper Bollinger Band. So it's quite it's already moved. So it has moved very smartly. Punjab National Bank has also moved, but not as much as SBI has moved. And so PSU banks, Canara Bank, yeah, Canara Bank has also given a movement. Indian Bank, okay, it was already up by the time we had seen this. So mainly SBI, that is what is driving the Nifty PSU index. So SBI has given a very handsome move from there. Nifty Media. So Nifty Media has Zeal in it. What is happening to Zeal? Let's have a look. Yes, moving slowly up to the top here. Right here. I think Sun TV has moved quite a bit. That is the reason the Nifty. Yes, you see. So this is the one. This has given a breakout over here. If this, if Sun TV comes down a little bit closer to the 20s, right now it is at 473. The 20 SMA is at 452. Let's say it comes down a little bit closer to the 20 SMA. That would be quite a very good risk reward ratio. With the aim up to the upper Bollinger Band at 516, 515 odd. It has moved up quite a bit in this week, but let's if suppose if this week it comes down a little bit closer to here, this could be also a very very good trade. So Nifty Media showing some moves here. Nifty Media, basically the heavyweights in Nifty Media are Z and this one, Sun TV. You see this. So this has got scope, at least till 2080, the index till 2080 it can go up to here, and probably that will be propelled by Sun TV and Z.